Welcome back, everyone, to Summit AED Summit Live here in Orlando. We are here for our final interview of the day. We are here with our friend Giorgio from FAE. Giorgio, how are you, sir?
Good, thank you very much. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
What's your take on the show this year?
Oh, it's beautiful. I think I had never seen such a big attendance, and I see a lot of new companies becoming members. So I think the organization is doing a great job as far as bringing on board new companies, new products. I see different products here that never seen in the past, and I think that adding the agriculture sector at the AED Association here has been a big deal. There is some connection, if you will, between the construction and agriculture, so I think it's the right place for the people as well.
It is. It's funny. We walked the show yesterday after we were finished setting up, and we walked this initial room here and went, "Well, it seems smaller this year." And that's when we found out there's a whole
other
room
section.
towards the back, and
Right,
it's like,
right.
oh, okay, so it's definitely bigger.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Why do you feel, Giorgio, it's so important to attend the AED Summit every year?
Oh, I believe this is the association of the industry. We've been members for many years, and we always benefit from AED, meeting new dealers, meeting existing dealers, maintaining relationships, creating new relationships. And every time we come here, we also learn a lot about the industry because we attend all these seminars, we listen to the experts, and it's a place and a time where you can really disconnect from the market for a few days and really dive into the information that the association has to share and want to share with you. Plus, we do attend, I normally bring all my sales team and marketing team in here as well. And we do attend classes, like sales classes, marketing classes, financial classes, and it's a very productive time.
Yeah. Well, shifting gears, tell us a bit about what FAE does. What is your role in the industry?
FAE, first of all, thanks for asking, because I would like to remark that FAE is turning 35 years strong.
Wow.
35 years.
We were founded in 1989 in Italy. It is a private company, privately owned, and is still to these days. And September last year, we turned 35 years old. So, and we've been growing constantly and organically during the last 35 years. We're very proud to be a private company, and we want to stay private.
Yeah.
Well, how long have you been with the company, Giorgio?
I have been with the company for 20 years. I'm marking my 20 years right now as we speak.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a very nice ride. And when I joined the company early 2005, FAE USA was at the very beginning, or its infancy, if you will, here in the United States. So I took over the company at the very beginning when we had only 2 employees plus me.
Wow.
In a very small warehouse, a small office in a little town in Georgia. And we really had to start from scratch, basically. And after a couple of 3 years, we started gaining ground, setting up some dealers, having some machines in the market there, and we were really, taking off. At that point, the company decided to invest into a piece of land. We built our own facilities, new offices, and we moved into the new facilities. From that point on, everything has been a little easier. Not so much, but a little easier. We added new people. We have a bigger team. We had a bigger space in the warehouse to stock machines and parts, and we built the old team basically from there. And now, after 20 years, we have more than 50 people on the team, and we're still adding, and we're still growing. Now we are to the point, actually, we're having a quick conversation earlier about our facilities, and we are planning an expansion.
Wow.
It's going to happen very soon. So the expansion planning, we want to have a long vision for the expansion, and the expansion to be good for the next 20 years, if you will. So we are in that phase of evaluating the project and how to expand, and et cetera, et cetera.
So over your 20 years, We've heard how the company has changed. How have you seen the industry change? What's different now than 20 years ago?
A lot of things are different, but I will say that probably the thing that resonates with me the most is customer expectation. Customer expectation is a lot different today than it was 20 years ago. And that's probably, or almost certain actually, because of the technology also that has been developed in the last 15, 20 years. So customers have higher expectation, they higher the bar, rightfully so, because they're spending a lot of money for this equipment, so they have very high expectations. So technology is the next thing. And we've seen technology playing a lot of roles in this business, from the equipment side of the business, where now you can track machines, where machines are, you can track productivity, safety devices, or safety technology rather on the equipment improved a lot. To me, this is one of the main things. I mean, safety is number one thing in this business. And when you have safety technology like collision avoidance systems, automatic emergency braking, proximity sensors, I mean, they can prevent and avoid a lot of accidents. And from here, I think the technology is just going to keep evolving and evolving to the point where really, hopefully, the job site is going to be very, very, very safe.
It is interesting. We talk about that all the time on our side. It used to be you just had this giant piece of iron with an engine in it. And it's becoming more and more to where you have computer systems and cameras and sensors. And while there is a lot more room for things to go wrong with the complexity of the systems, like you just talked about, there's also a lot more safety. But there's also a lot more efficiency that comes along with it. One thing that sticks out specifically to me is we have one of your mulcher heads and the sonic technology. When we stepped away from our old mulching head and moved to your head, the efficiency and production that we got out of that head compared to the old head was not even close. And it was really that sonic technology that made the difference there.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up, because the sonic technology for us was really a big step that separated us from the rest of the players in the market. And we estimate the productivity on the sonic technology to be about 30% higher than the VT technology, the variable torque motor technology. And the sonic technology really helped us as a company to get more market share. It didn't take very long, to be honest with you, to gain confidence in the market through the sonic technology. When you're talking about new technology, they want to take a minute to understand exactly what it is. But with the sonic technology that we introduced almost 6 years ago now, it took off pretty quickly, simply because once we put a few machines out there, the customers were very happy. Word of mouth went around the market, the country, and everybody gained confidence with that technology. And I think that right now, about 60% of the machines that we sell, 65% of the machines that we sell do have the sonic technology. The remaining quantity is still the VT technology for certain customers that want to stay with the VT.
Yeah. Another area you guys have innovated in is the remote control technology. That's something that's relatively recent to our industry, and yet again, both from a safety perspective and from an access to areas that were previously inaccessible, that has kind of changed the game.
Absolutely. We introduced the remote control units about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And we came out initially with two different models, the RCU 55 horsepower, and the RCU 75 horsepower. And that equipment allowed us to enter new markets and new opportunity that we didn't have before. There are a lot of applications in a lot of areas of the country, but in the world as well, where a machine with an operator cannot access because the machine is too big, or it's too dangerous, or it's too steep, or it's too swampy, and many situations that do not allow machines with an operator to access. That's where the remote control units comes to play and it can be used and can be as productive, if not more productive, than a regular skid steer, simply because our remote control unit, they have a dedicated hydraulic circuit dedicated to a mulching head or whatever attachment you have on the carrier. And so on these remote control units anyway, you can put any type of attachment that can be mounted on the skid steer because they have a quick attach.
So what kind of products do you guys, what kind of products do you guys offer at FAE that you could put in production with a skid steer or one of the remote crawlers?
What type? I'm sorry. Is the
What type of attachments?
What type of attachments is FAE? Sorry.
We got cough drop high.
Yeah.
So as FAE, we made the mulchers with the fixed tooth or the flail. We made the stump grinder, and we made a cold planter for asphalt as well. This machine can be used in both spaces, land management as well as the road construction.
Okay.
And we want to stay with these specialized attachments because FAE is very unique in building this product. This is our bread and butter, if you like. We are not investing any resources in developing commodities like brackets or grapples or blades or anything like that. So we just let the customer use whatever brands they want on that side of the business. But as far as the mulcher is concerned, and those three attachments that we made, stump grinder, mulchers, and cold planters, we absolutely recommend to use the original FAE attachment, and it goes with the warranty as well. If you don't use the original FAE attachment there, you lose the warranty. But anyway, 90% of the times that this remote control is used with the attachment that we do produce.
Interesting.
That type of applications.
So obviously, you guys are innovators in the industry, and it's gotten pretty competitive out there. What do you feel that separates you guys, FAE, away from the competition?
There are several things. I will start from the fact that FAE has a vertical integration, meaning that we do produce everything internally. So in the past, we have purchased a couple of key suppliers that they're now part of FAE. It's FAE Manufacturing.
Yeah.
And that allowed us to have a better quality control over the product. But mostly, we are more flexible in the production process. So we don't depend so much from third parties and component suppliers, but we are more autonomous, if you will. That's the number one thing. The second thing is that FAE, since day one, always reinvested the profit into the company. And the profit is invested in different directions, from R&D to developing new markets, to entering new markets, to expanding facilities that we have in Italy at the headquarters, as well as different branches around the world, because we are present in the United States, but we also have a branch in Canada, one in France, one in Germany, Australia, and now China as well.
Wow.
So that's the second thing that really separates FAE from the rest. I would say that third thing would probably be people. We've been able to create a culture that gets everybody excited about this company, about this product, about what we want to do, and everybody's vested in what we do. And we've been able over the years to create this teamwork mentality. Everybody is a piece of a puzzle. Nobody can achieve anything by himself or herself, but we are all part of a team, and we consider ourselves a piece of a puzzle. And myself including, I can't do anything by myself. I mean, I will be not able to do anything by myself. And the team that we created, the people that we have, really married the mentality of the company and the culture. So I would say that these are the three things that separate us. There is another thing, actually. We are one of the very few companies in this industry, in the mulching industry, that uses CRM. and specifically Salesforce. And since we started using a CRM almost 8 years ago, we've seen a drastic change in decision making. We can make better data-based decision, if you will, and we have seen a drastic change in everything since we've been doing that, because we can gather very important information from the market that can allows the company to make changes when needed and where needed. We can make better decisions and more intelligent decisions. So I think those are the main things that separate FAE from the rest. And obviously we have the everyday activities such that we offer a very high level of service that separates us, high level of training, which is very, very important. And on the sales side, commercial side, we do consultative selling. And we had to learn to say no sometimes. Very
It's
difficult
hard
to do, very hard to do, but we have learned to say no, because we don't want to sell a wrong piece of equipment to a dealer or a customer and then not being successful. So we would rather do consultative selling, show that we have integrity, that we know what we're talking about, and recommending the correct solution for the application. So with that said, once you make the customer successful, the dealer is successful, and we are successful. So it's a win-win-win. So the consultative selling to us is big.
Yeah,
It's a
That's
big
huge.
So the equipment that you guys produce is relatively specialized and not necessarily for a novice. And so one of my questions is there a space, coming at it from a dealer perspective because of the environment we're in, is there a space if I have rental customers out there that I can go rent this sort of equipment?
Absolutely. Very, very interesting question, because lately, internally within FAE, we're talking about promoting more the rental business through the dealers by teaching them and explaining the benefits of rental or renting the equipment, but at the same time being very, very, very selective. There is a space in the rental, yes, and you have two different spaces. You have the commercial and you have the homeowner. Some of the dealers focus on the commercial side of the business, some other dealers on the homeowners, some other dealers on both.
Yeah.
So either way, you have to be very, very selective. And again, the dealer has to learn to say no. Because oftentimes somebody wants to buy a piece of renting a piece of equipment that is not ideal for the application. So it's very, very important for the dealer, after you do the normal procedure as far as making sure that the customer has the liability insurance, is financially sound and all that, that's administrative procedures that you have to do regardless. But number one is making sure that we understand the scope of the application. As speaking for the dealer in this case, understand the scope of the application in order to offer the correct product. And again, if you offer the correct solution, the customer is going to be profitable. So is the dealer, so is the manufacturer, and again, is a win-win-win.
100%.
So that's the main thing. The scope of the application is, to my opinion, the most important thing for the dealer to understand, and not rushing into just renting a piece of equipment.
So,
and sorry, one more thing that I think is really very important. Make sure that, as a dealer, when you're renting a piece of equipment like that, because of the violence of this type of application, on the machine, and also liability wise, make sure that the customer is willing to go through a training.
yes.
If I were a dealer, I would probably select only commercial contractors, not homeowner.
Yes.
For obvious reasons. And what I see also in the rental business is that, especially for the commercial side of it, the dealers want to rent a piece of equipment not less than a month. no less than a month. They wouldn't do anything for less than a month.
Yeah. It is funny when you start moving into this level of attachment and like you said, the violence factor. Everything kind of ratchets up another level. It's one thing to rent a homeowner skid steer that they could absolutely go drive into a ditch and kill themselves or severely hurt themselves. But now you're talking an attachment that's a tremendous amount of weight revolving at a very high speed. And I worked at a dealership for a while, and we had a number of customers that would come in and they wanted to rent a mulcher head. Well, what kind of machine are you putting it on? Well, it's my old Case 1840 skid steer. Well, the flow's not there. It's never going to work. Well, okay, what if I just rent this skid steer over here? Well, that doesn't have a demo door. Why do I need a demo door? Right there, cut the conversation off.
Right.
That's a non-qualified individual, and you need to say no.
I agree, and I agree 100%. The risk is too high, and the damages can be generated by somebody that is not really into this type of business, are multiple, from the financial damage to liability.
100%.
There's too much into it, and again, to your point, we have to learn how to say no.
Yes.
Hard thing to do.
Very hard, but
So
yes.
Giorgio, 20 years in the industry, you guys are using technology, software. Where do you see the industry going today?
The industry will continue to produce bigger and larger machines, in my opinion, in physical size, horsepower size, hydraulically wise, bigger hydraulic system, more flow, more pressure in this specific land clearing, land management industry, and with more technology. So I think what we've seen in the technology development in the last 20 years has been a pretty rapid development. But I think we are to a point where it's going to be even faster and even better. There's so much technology out there, and it's so useful, it's so good for the industry that it will continue to develop and grow. To this point, I think that due to the technology, we will have and we will need more educated people in this industry, from the end user to the dealers and to the manufacturer. When I say educated, I mean not a college. I'm not talking about college or any school, but educated in this specific industry. And you can get a very good education about the equipment and the technology from associations like this, for example, AED. AEM as well, and so many other associations around the country, nationwide association, also local associations. Manufacture themselves, obviously they do offer training and school to the dealers and to the customer on how to use the technology on their equipment. This is the education I'm referring to. And in the future, in the next probably 10, 15, 20 years, we're going to see even a bigger development on the technology side of the business, for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the workforce, because we had a youth workforce development on earlier, and that was the primary topic of conversation, is just how we need more people in these industries with this specific knowledge. And like you said, the college route doesn't get you there. You need the industry focus of being in the industry, doing that line of work to really understand it, so that you can then apply that to improve and better.
I agree. And if I can add to your point, I strongly believe that two things. Number one, that in this industry, the technology is super, super important, but it's still a people business. People buy from people. There are two components in it. And number two, about learning about this technology in this industry, I think that for people that work in this industry will be pretty easy and quick, just because they have passion for what they do.
Yeah.
People that work in this industry is because they want to be in this industry. They're not here for the paycheck. They're here because they're passionate about the industry, they're passionate about the equipment, and they're passionate about people that work in this circle, if you will. So I think the educational part of this business is not going to be a challenge for anybody in this industry. Everybody is passionate, is going to learn fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And it is, it's a really exciting time to be in our industry or any kind of related industry, because we're kind of in this changing of the guard season. You've got a lot of, and our average age in the workforce is around 56 years old, and you've got this. A lot of businesses are transferring from father to son, or to the next generation of employees that want to take it over, and as a result, you're getting this old school mentality out of computers are terrible, technology's bad, and you're starting to get in the new generation that we grew up with computers.
They adapt
We've
to
been
it.
around this stuff, and it's not the big bad scary thing that Dad said it was, and it's been really cool over the last. Over the last 5 years, I feel like it's really accelerated, that you're starting to see tech make its way into all facets of our industry. And I'm really excited to see what that future looks like over the next 10 years, because I think at this point, because of the aging workforce and the lack of people replacing, the technology, we're going foot to the floor on the throttle on that.
Absolutely. I don't think it's going to be a challenge at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well, Giorgio, thank you so much for the time. This
Thank
been
you.
great.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure as always, and look forward to see you out there.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching this afternoon. This is our last live stream for today. We will catch you guys tomorrow around 11:15 a.m. Pacific time. You guys have a good one.